Upward Bound students. My name is Brianna and this is Bear, and we are going to go ahead and get started with our yoga practice. So if you haven't already, just go ahead and find some space. You don't need a yoga mat or anything. You can just find somewhere that's comfortable to sit and somewhere that you'll have space to extend your legs out in front of you for you to lay down, and maybe even to put your arms out by the side. So just try to clear some space. As you're setting up your area, just thinking about clearing space and what that might mean for you. So today we want to think about, is our room kind of messy all the time? Is there somewhere or something in our room that we know that we can tidy up a little bit? Also, in our life, is there something that we need to kind of clear away, such as some negative thoughts in our mind, or sometimes we're judging ourselves based on how others around us are doing something similar to us. So just think about, what can you clear away in your life so that you can feel a little bit better? We'll talk about it as we get started, but let's go ahead and start to come into a comfortable sitting position. So you can cross your legs like mine, or if it feels better to have one out or both out, that's fine too. If you have a pillow and you want to sit on a pillow like a meditation cushion, that's also an option. I just want you to feel comfortable when you're sitting on the ground. So go ahead and find that comfortable seat and take a moment here to just close your eyes. I'm going to give you just a few moments here to sit up nice and tall and just see if you can invite in a sense of peace and relaxation. Turning our minds from the doing and the thinking and checking the boxes off on our to-do list, and just coming into a place of stillness. Remember to sit up tall, pull your shoulders a little bit back so you feel your chest open or your heart open, and let your hips be really heavy. And see if you can just tap into the breathing process that's happening for you without you even having to think about it. How amazing is it that we're breathing all day long and we don't even have to remind ourselves to do so? And that breath is our life force. That breath is called prana in yoga. And prana rides through everything. That prana, that life force, moves through your whole body. It moves through Bear's whole body. He's over there. And it moves through everybody else too. So just take this time to connect to prana. We're going to start with a gentle movement. And you can do this with your eyes open or closed. But that soft movement will start to connect movement and prana, or movement and breath. So as we inhale, we'll slowly reach the arms up. So breathing in. And then as you begin to breathe out, take your palms together and your hands come down in front of your heart. So let's try again. Inhaling, that prana rises us up, reaching tall. And exhaling prana, hands come down in front of your heart. 2 more times. Inhaling, reaching out and all the way up. And exhaling, hands down to heart center. 1 more time, using this to clear the energy and the space here within ourselves for our yoga practice. So with our hands at heart center, you can close your eyes and bow your chin down towards your chest. In yoga, we set an intention for our practice so that, well, today we're going to get some good stretches in and really let the body feel a little bit more cleared out, because today our intention is to clear out, to make space. So just taking this time, whether it's something that you want to think about that you can clear out, like I said, in your bedroom, in your house, or in your space. Or maybe you can clear out some of those negative thoughts that are making you feel just not your best self. Maybe our practice today, all of our stretches, will help you to clear out some of the tension that you're holding in your body, because when we're really stressed out in our mind, it settles into our body and it turns into our body feeling really tight. So today, think about the words, let go. We're going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and take your left hand to the ground beside you, and you can reach your right arm up and over your head. So already starting to find a nice side body stretch. So notice I have my left hand a little bit away from me on the ground, and that gives me space to take that shoulder and move it away from the ear, bending that left elbow a little bit in towards your body, and then reaching out through your right fingertips. Make sure that your right hip is on the ground, and invite in that prana, that breath, to kind of move into this right side of your body. So here we go. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Come back to center and change sides. Reaching that right hand a little away, and then inhale that left arm up, and exhale as you reach it over. And see how I'm bending that right elbow a little bit in towards me, and really pressing down that left hip in towards the ground. I want to take those shoulders and try to unscrunch them away from the ears. And let's invite in that prana, or that life force breath, into our left side stretch. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Good job. And coming back to center. Nice. You might feel your arms a little bit more warm, your side body. Now let's go ahead and give ourselves a big hug. So just wrapping one arm over the other, hands on the shoulders, and just giving those elbows like a little lift. My bottom elbow is kind of pressing up into my top elbow. I'm just kind of starting to feel the shoulders, maybe feeling the upper back. Maybe your legs are wanting to get a little stretch out too, that's fine. And you can keep this stretch here, or if you want deeper into the shoulders, you can take those fingers up. So try not to uncross the elbows, just take the fingers up. Maybe you can press the backs of your arms together like this, or maybe you can wrap your hands together. So see how I have my fingers towards the base of my thumb, or wherever you can hold. And just give those elbows once again a little lift. And if your hands are touching, press those hands a little forward away from your face. And let's take a deep breath into our upper back. So here we go. Breath in. And breath out. This is our eagle arms. Let's just kind of take a note of which side we have. So which arm is on top? Just take a note. And then release, because we don't want to do the same side twice, right? Just roll out those shoulders, let it feel good. And we're going to do the other side. So remember, a big hug with the opposite arm on top. And just holding opposite shoulders, stacking those elbows, and kind of pressing that bottom elbow a little bit up into your top elbow. I feel it mostly in the shoulder of the arm that's on top. I'm just trying to sit up nice and straight. So I know we've been sitting a while, but we'll try not to kind of lean back, right? Just starting to strengthen the muscles in our back to help us sit tall. So you can stay like this, or if you'd like, you can take those fingertips up. Remember, maybe you're pressing the backs of your arms together, or maybe wrapping so that your fingers are towards the base of your thumb or wherever you can grip. And we're taking those elbows just a little bit up and then pressing the hands a little forward and breathing into our upper back. So we hold a lot of stress in our upper back, and sometimes we don't even realize we're stressed out when we are just kind of in our day-to-day life. And then when we're stretching, we're like, oh wow, look at all that I was holding on to. So take a deep breath to help let it go. Good. You can release your hands and just give the shoulders a little roll out. I know that will feel good. And we'll go ahead and come into a tabletop position. So you can just face any direction that you can see the video, but just coming onto all fours in our tabletop. So we want to make sure that our knees are right underneath our hips and our hands are right underneath our shoulders. We have a really nice foundation here. And we'll spread our fingers really wide onto the ground so we can protect our wrists. Cow and cat is next, which is like a massage for your spine. So for cow, we're going to inhale, drop our belly down, and start to reach our chest forward. And then for cat, as we exhale, we'll round our back up and drop our head down. So we'll continue like this. Inhaling for cow, your belly goes down, your hips and your heart lift. And then exhale for cat as you push the ground away and really round like a Halloween cat back. So let's try a couple more. Really just thinking about that massage for the spine. What kind of tension are you holding on to? What do we want to clear out of our body? Where is that tension that we're clearing out? What do we want to let go of? And exhaling to round our back. And then coming into a flat back, tabletop. And we're going to take our child's pose. So make sure your big toes are touching behind you, and we'll sit back towards our feet. And start to drop the forehead down into the ground. And resting here, this is your child's pose. This is a wonderful pose to relax our body and our mind. So together here, we'll take 3 breaths in through our nose and out through our nose or softly through our mouth. You choose. And 2 more breaths, really slowly in. And really gently letting it out. Last breath in. And let it out. Good job. Let's take it forward again into our tabletop. And we'll begin to stretch the backs of our legs now. So for our downward facing dog, make sure your fingers are spreading wide. Tuck your toes, and we'll lift our knees up and start to press our chest back. The more that you press your chest back, you'll start to notice the backs of your legs stretching. So let's go ahead and increase the stretch by bending one knee and then bending the other knee. So you start to walk out your downward facing dog, which might feel a little tight today, but that's okay. We're just doing the best that we can. A couple more times, just side to side, pedaling out your legs. Good job. And then we're going to start to walk our feet underneath our body. And once your feet are underneath your hips, bend your knees and just start to roll your way up to a standing position. Nice and easy. We made it to standing. So just go ahead and take your mountain pose. Our palms are facing forward. And we're going to do a little movement. So as you inhale, we'll reach our arms all the way up. And as you exhale, we'll bend our knees and fold all the way down. So we'll inhale. Now hands to our shins. We're going to lift halfway. Find a flat back. You can have your knees bent. And then exhale to fold. So we're moving with that prana, with our breath. We'll bend the knees, inhale, reach it all the way up, stand tall. And then exhale, hands to heart. So let's do it a couple more times. We'll inhale to reach it up. And exhale to fold it all the way down. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway. Exhale to fold. And then bending those knees, inhale, flat back, stand all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. See if you can follow your breath. Last one, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding down again. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, reaching tall. And exhaling, hands to your heart. Good job. Let's practice a little bit of balance. So, we're going to step one foot in front of the other for our balance pose. So we got our right foot forward, and we're going to take those left toes just behind the right heel. Okay, it looks maybe a little easy, but it's like you're standing on a balance beam. It's pretty tricky here. I'm sorry if you can't see my face. Can't tell. That's okay. We're focused on our own feet, really. We're going to take our hands behind our head, let our elbows go wide, and start to lift our heart up for the sky. Here's our balance pose today. So even though 2 feet are on the ground, you might feel them working really hard here to keep your balance. So let's take a breath into our balance pose. In and out. Good job. Release your hands, release your feet. We're going to do the other side. So we'll see. 2 sides might be a little different. Left foot now directly in front of your right foot. Hands go behind your head. And then we'll open our elbows wide. Really press your heart up for the sky, like a little back bend here. If you want more challenge, look upward. Woo! That got me all wobbly. I'll use my breath to try to find my balance. Breath in. And breath out. Releasing those hands. Unwind your feet. And good job. Go ahead and take your feet about, well, a little wider than your hips. So maybe just as wide as when you open up your hands. And bend your knees a little bit so you can take your hands down. So we can have our fingertips down. You can always hold on to a piece of furniture if it feels a little bit too much to go all the way down. Okay? And we're going to bend one knee, and then we're going to bend the other knee. So we're just going side to side a little bit, and you should be feeling the stretch in the inner thigh of the leg that's straight. I'm just trying to kind of feel into my stretches so I don't take it too far. I'm just going to do one more to each side. And maybe now that I'm a little more warmed up, I can sit a little bit lower as I go. And then just coming back to the center, and we're gonna drop our head down so we get a wide leg forward fold. And this one might mean that you keep your hands on the ground in front of your toes. Or if you want to try, you can walk your hands back and through your feet, like you're reaching for whatever you can see behind you, coming into a little deeper stretch. Just make sure that your knees are not locked out to their maximum straightness. We want to have a little bend in the knees. And then we'll have our hands right back underneath our shoulders. And we're going to heel toe our feet just a little bit closer together, maybe 2 times. Turn your toes at an outward angle. And we'll sit our hips nice and low. Oh, I need to bring my feet in a little bit closer for my preference. Coming into a squat. This is a pretty tricky one, so just take your time. You can sit on the ground and do this one. You can sit up on a pillow or a rolled up blanket if you want to, but you can also hang out here. And you can have your hands down like a frog, or you can have your hands in a prayer position in front of your chest. What we want to do is press our knees open with our elbows. So I'm continuously pressing there. And then I want to take my shoulders and roll them back, growing really tall through my spine. This is our yogi squat, and it's really good if you hold tension in your back. So, you know how we were talking at the beginning of our practice about clearing something out, right? Maybe it's clearing something out of our body. Maybe it's that stress that we hold in our back, particularly our lower back in this pose. So take another breath into it. Just letting go. We're going to come into sitting. So for you, it might mean hands go back and you sit, or you can come onto your knees first if it feels better for you. So we're going to take our feet just a little bit wider than our hips and our hands back behind us for support, and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. This is just a good movement to do for your hips because we're going to stretch them a little bit more here in a minute. So just side to side. And coming back to center. Good. Now let's take the bottoms of our feet together and open up our knees. So this is our bound angle pose. We're going to hold on to something, maybe it's our ankles or our shins. If this is uncomfortable for your hips, you can slide some blankets underneath your legs here, and those blankets can kind of hold up the legs. Or maybe you don't want to use anything, but you can bring your feet a little bit more forward and just see if that feels a little bit better for you today. None of these poses are like one size fits all. These poses you can do however you need to feel the most benefit, to feel more free in your body. I want you to feel free to explore. I'm just using my thumbs here to kind of massage out my feet. I did a lot of hiking recently, and sometimes I'll go running, so even if you're just walking and moving yourself around, you're using your feet quite a bit. So taking this time to kind of give them a little bit of love. And then we're going to inhale to sit up a little bit taller and exhale to fold down. So you should feel maybe more intensity in your hips, but also a nice stretch for your back. So just drop your head, you can even close your eyes, and just breathe. Start to rise back up. Good. And let's go ahead and bring our knees in, and we're gonna roll down onto our back. So just nice and easy, coming on down one vertebrae at a time. And we're going to do one more hip opener. Basically, it's what we just did when we were sitting, but now we're on our back. So we'll open our knees and take the bottoms of our feet together. And whenever this becomes a little bit too much for your hips, you're always welcome to take those knees up and walk your feet wide apart. And you can rest in the opposite, which is a really good counter stretch for what we're doing in bound angle. So in our bound angle on our back, we're going to take our hands onto our belly. And we want to breathe into our belly like every breath we were inflating a balloon. So we're going to try a few rounds. Just close your eyes. And as you breathe in, expand your balloon belly for 3, 2, 1, and then exhale out of your nose or mouth and deflate that balloon for 3, 2, and 1. Again, inhale for 3, fill the belly, 2, 1, and then exhale, deflate the belly for 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, and 1. If you haven't already, let's come into that opposite, that counter stretch, where we bring our knees together and walk our feet apart a little wider than our hips, so the knees are kind of resting in on one another. And let's take one more breath. So we're going to inhale into the belly for 3, 2, 1, and exhale out of the belly for 3, 2, and 1. Now let's extend our legs all the way out onto the space in front of us and take our palms to face up beside our body. You can press into the back of your head and kind of tuck your shoulders underneath you and close your eyes for your relaxation pose, Shavasana. So I'm going to be quiet for about a minute or two so that you can completely relax into this relaxation without having to do anything. There's no wrong way to be here. So just listen to sounds around you, space within your heart. I'll wake you up in just a couple of minutes. When you're ready, just starting to wiggle your toes. Maybe close and open your hands. Roll our wrists and our ankles out. And then we'll walk our feet together, legs long, and reach all the way back, taking a nice full body stretch. And we'll bend our knees, walking our feet down, and just roll over onto one side, using our arm as a pillow. And then gently pressing all the way back up, coming back to where we started in our sitting position. Taking hands to heart center, and don't thank me, thank yourself for taking these 30 minutes to just be with your body. This breath that's always moving through us, this body that we're always in, right? Sometimes we can kind of forget about that and get really caught up as to what's going on around. But our yoga, it's the time to figure out what's going on within. What are we holding on to? Think about that question from today's practice. That question of, what can I clear space for? For me, I know that over the past couple of weeks, I've really been working on cleaning my room. Just getting out all of those piles of junk that really I've just stored and put away and I never use. So I was able to give some things away, some shoes and some shirts and books, and that made me feel really good. It made my mind feel clearer. So maybe it's that. Then when I come to my practice and we stretch, let's say, when we stretched our back and our hips here, I was holding on to so much tension in my body. So maybe I'm clearing out some of the stress that has manifested in my body as tightness. So think about what you want to clear out in your life, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.